Alright, everybody, welcome back to Resistance of Tyranny. Quite a few things to cover today. I did miss one day just for some other stuff. I was actually doing a lot of research yesterday on some stuff that I've gotten into, just the whole occult, more Satanism. Just the elite are disgusting pigs. And I figured out so much about it. I was really looking into Bible verses and the whole test that we're in, and how the concept of free will and how that applies to ETs. And I figured out, every being in this universe is in the test. The galaxies are universes. The Earth is a conscious being. The galaxies are because there's life within them. And I was looking into the concept of God himself and how it's like a dream. You create your dreams. Everybody understands when they do not dream, how they just see darkness and there's nothing exists. But when you create a dream, you create something out of that. And so that's a hint to what God did when he said, "Let there be light." He did that and then gave us all free will, which is what life form is being based on carbon throughout the universe. 666. Because Satan is within us, we have the choice of good and evil. We have free will. But we, humans, were the ones to use that free will to go against God and work with Satan. And that's why we now have sin. And so I was just kind of connecting that in the Garden of Eden. So we see ETs not as godlike, but still having free will, and every animal on the planet having free will, but not siding with evil so they cannot live in sin. And so I was just looking into a lot of that, and it kind of led from Trippy Red saying he was a Satanist, and something about 666 being the carbon atom, and I looked into that and was trying to figure out what that meant. Then I realized it's a sign that he is within all of us, and we have that choice between good and evil because we have free will. It's kind of a weird concept to think about, but I got a lot of information from that, and I'll get into that more another time. I literally have pages and pages of notes. And then I was looking into more on secret societies, Freemasonry in particular, and how people were connecting that. George Washington designing the dollar bill, and how there was Annuit Septis on it, written on it, and the Eye of Horus on there. He did it as a way of God watching over the nation, because I found out, we know that Albert Pike wrote the Freemason Bible, but that wasn't until 1840, and George Washington was a master Mason before Albert Pike, where they just used the Holy Bible, King James Bible, as their scriptures, and then Albert Pike kind of infiltrated the whole system and turned it into a satanic cult, is what I've found. And so that's kind of the stuff I was looking into. Very interesting. Just a lot of concepts to grasp, but it kind of comes eventually. But I mean, that's the big idea, and there's so much that ties into that. So much, it's just a lot. But anyway, that's kind of not how I wanted to start off the video, but just why I was, I was up till 1 a.m. from like 6 to 1 doing heavy research, just infatuated with it, because I have this mind where I can't even fall asleep. I can't even do something different until I've got the answer that I was looking for. But there's always a new door that opens. Like, I'm at peace right now. I feel like I know I don't know everything, but I feel like I've put all the pieces together, that all the questions I have been answered, and I thank God for that. But I know that there will be more in the future, because one door shuts, another one opens, and that's just the way it works. So, back to just simple news. Can't believe this. Greta Thunberg, the team that was basically recruited from the globalists to push the climate change argument, now being on CNN and talking about the coronavirus as if she's some expert, and such. And then we all know there's two different groups of scientists working with global warming and how it's gone up like almost 2 degrees Fahrenheit in like the last, since the Industrial Revolution. And that's so micro, but it's all based, there's no evidence that it's based off of carbon. We know carbon is, or not carbon, we're made of carbon. That's the whole occult, is that humans are bad, humans especially, because that's what they're being told by the devil, is that because we sinned, he used that as a chance to jump on us. He tried with all the other civilizations. He tried with all other beings that existed before us and during our existence too. But they didn't let him in. They sided with God. Humans were the ones to go against that, use our free will to go against God, and now we live in sin. And so the devil uses that as a way to say that humans are bad and we all need to be killed. But he just uses that as a way to use his own plan to get up here, build this, kill off everybody, create the system that we use, phones, this AI system where it takes all of our consciousness so they know what our plan is, future, past, and present, a true crystal ball, as Alex Jones said. And then free will is basically over, because once you see the future of somebody, their free will is over. And so that's a way of getting us to sell out to Satan and have all of humans work for the system. But overall, the main goal is to kill off everybody. So that's where you get atrazine turning the frogs gay, reducing population, everything that we're seeing now, shutting off the third world food supply so that they die out. That's all part of this plan. And the carbon tax and the whole climate change argument was being used as a way to unite everybody into a world government, having one single crisis. Same thing as this coronavirus, same thing as the ET false flag attack. Ronald Reagan said, if we had an alien threat from beyond this world, how quickly our problems would vanish. Again, he was kind of sold out, I'd say. But we have this, we know it's based on the sun, we know it's based off of other things, yet we still have pollution, which is bad, and we need to, these oil companies are benefiting greatly from this, and there's a lot of people are going along with suppressing the free energy technologies that Tesla developed, that John Searle developed, that many others came out with. For this reason, globalists controlling a lot of because they have all the money, the power, they buy up all these and start these oil companies. But then it's also suppressed to keep away, to keep that and use that as a way to unite people in one world government. But they also get more power from that by keeping the oil petrodollar system in place. So we know that's bad. We know that's causing pollution. But the whole argument of global warming has been not proven wrong, but their claims that were made that the ice caps would be melted by now are false. And it's climbing so little, and it's really not something we need to worry about. But the pollution, it's something to worry about, so that doesn't really change the action that we're going to take, other than, don't tax us on it. It's still causing pollution, but it's not nearly as bad as they make it to be. So Greta Thunberg, her family's benefiting greatly from this, all about using some poor little girl, how dare you, I should be in school, as she said, to kind of get everybody on this same page with this. But so many people reject it, and now they're putting her on for coronavirus, which is just insane. Just like some kids arguing and being put in front of the camera. I'm afraid to go to school because I could get shot, and it's all Second Amendment. It's their fault. It's the gun owner's fault, which is such a minor thing that everybody knows about. The second part, we also have a hero police officer and former Special Forces veteran, Greg Anderson, which I wish was in a position of higher power, but sadly his boss is probably a globalist agent. He's from Seattle and has been placed on administrative leave now for refusing to remove a video he was told to remove a video from his department, calling for the police to, oh my God, not follow tyrannical orders. So the public eye, he's a hero, at least. Most people, unless you hate America and just are libtard. Oh, God, it's so sickening. Heaven forbid, don't follow tyrannical orders. No, we can't have a real human in the police department with a soul, with a little bit of fire of liberty. That's why we're going to bring in robots, because they can be completely controlled. But most humans in that force are already controlled. They recruit the dumbest, fattest, most power-hungry people. It's just sickening. Heaven forbid we have a good guy in there. Remove that video, you scum. Americans standing up for the Constitution. He said, this hero said, and I quote, "I have seen officers around the country enforcing tyrannical orders." Correct, said the officer Greg Anderson. "I was hoping it was a minority of officers. Anymore, I'm not so sure," he also said. Exactly right. They've recruited the worst ones. We need more good people in there. I support him 100%, and he's just a good police officer. I've explained this in so many videos. We have to recognize the individualities. We have to recognize the good people in the system. But you have to realize when you go in, the whole plan is to serve the system. You need to go in there with a different mindset and try and reverse that. And one last thing to mention quickly. Fall school closures already in place, and the NFL prepared to make changes. Trump obviously calling out Fauci on this. It's ridiculous. All over a virus, completely blown out of proportion into infinity. Not hardly worse than the flu. I'm supposed to be playing football this year. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So far, it's just practices with just the team, no coach. If we do get to play, there'll be no audience. But I don't even think they're going to let us play. If there's no school, football's not going to be a thing. Oh, it's completely ridiculous. They want to never open up again. See you guys tomorrow. Guys, welcome back. I completely forgot one thing out of this transmission. I'm running out of energy today. There's a video of a compilation. Well, there was a video of now. I pledge allegiance to the New World Order. It's a thing. You can look it up. People are going along with it. Pledging allegiance to the New World Order. They're saying you have to do this. And by pledging to the New World Order, you're pledging to Satan. And this is what, all Satanists do this. The secret societies that have been hijacked now do this. MS-13 is satanic. They do this as well. They're just throwing it in your face now. It's plain as day. They're just showing it to you. They're showing everything because they don't want to be jailed. Hide it in plain view is the way of the game. And another thing, I just saw it yesterday. The new Trump campaign ad for 2020 is absolutely amazing. I'm not going to lie, I literally cried when I watched it. You can check it out. The CNN refuses to play it. Obviously, I couldn't find it anywhere on YouTube. It was just amazing, and it was just re-fulfilled my love of America and life. But he threw something in there that was very courageous of him. He actually threw in, he was saying, new advances in technology for the days to come. And he legitimately showed a Searle effect generator, free energy device that John Searle developed based on the technology that he was given. It's UFO technology, but he was given it from a dream, he claims. So that means that he got that technology because dreams are ancestral data. It's compacted knowledge. You don't astral project in a dream. You're not getting it from some ET. You're not getting it from the devil. You're not getting it. God can hijack into your dreams. So there's a chance he gave that to him. But this is a principle that came to him because it existed probably in his. It's in all species. They have their own compacted knowledge because of what they need to survive. That's how we advance. That's how all species advance on Earth and in the universe. So, like, there's an experiment. Universities take baby chicks and they fly a square circle over, and the chicks don't care, and then they fly a hawk over that they've never seen before, and they all squawk and freak out. And that's because of compacted knowledge from what they needed to evolve. And so, an evolution is, in my opinion, very real. Everything evolves from something to something larger, and having free will along the whole way. And then at some point, like human sin, like I was mentioning, and went against God, could have done that at the early stages of life as well. But anyway, to what I was saying, he was getting this technology, just like Tesla. I didn't get into too much of where he got his technology. I know he meditated. He never took drugs or hallucinogens, so we know he didn't get this from the devil himself. He got it from God. He got it from astral projections, ETs giving him technology, which they're very moderate about, because we need to advance ourselves, and we already have that technology we've stolen from them, but only corrupt groups. The New World Order itself has that technology, just like out of the Hunger Games, you have the elites having control of all that technology, and we're basically living in slums. But through the mind, you have remote viewing. The mind is just an amazing place connected to the universe that can do so much. Through a dream, it's compacted knowledge, like I said. And so the fact that technology existed, possibly during the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, where they got it from, I'm not sure. Very unlikely that the ETs just gave it to them. They may have, it's also so mysterious, they may have had the ETs never crashed in ancient Egypt. They had nothing to shoot them down with, like in Roswell, it was an electromagnetic weapon. But very likely that they had just a craft there, and the ETs saw it and wrote about it. Doubtful that they produced it. But the Nazis, right before John Searle, post-World War II England, was when he was born. There's a direct link, even closer, between him and what the Nazis developed than, say, me being on the other side of the world getting this technology, although it's all in our human archaeology. I don't even know the word now. I'm literally having Alzheimer's. Archaeological system of our species, of knowledge we've come across to survive, and knowledge we've found or stolen or been given from many different sources that I've explained. ETs, through crashed craft, through astral projections, from God through astral projections, through Satan from astral projections. All that coming at one point and then being passed to the next generation through oral and through our archaeological system. I'm really struggling with that word. Sorry, I'm really ranting. This is a 20-minute video now. But I just had so much to get into. There's probably a direct link between him and the Nazis who developed this technology before the U.S. ever found out about it. The Nazis were the first to ever develop the technology. And then in 1950 war, in the U.S., we perfected it, October of 1954. But the Nazis developing this technology first, through shooting down craft, copying it, and then using it for the secret projects, it ended up never getting fully developed by the Nazis. It was underground bases that kept getting bombed by U.S. Special Forces at the time, suicide bombed. That technology got taken to the U.S. and they shot down more craft and reverse engineered. Because there's a few different types that ETs that have visited here use. But the link of those discoverers through the crashed craft that they shot down to John Searle must have been very close, being in Europe, that DNA being very close, just his ancestors being so close to those people. And so that knowledge came to him in his dream. It was already in his brain and his genetics, in him from his ancestors, from just before him. He was given this technology to develop the Searle effect generator, and he built it from his dream. The Searle effect is based on squares. Tesla talked about 369 as well. I believe this has something to do with that too. You can look into it more. There's a whole documentary on John Searle. It's completely amazing to watch. But Trump literally threw in the Taurus, the Searle effect generator, in his campaign ads, saying that this technology is coming in the future, even though it's been around since 1954, even World War II before. And so he threw that in, and it completely astonished me. I was amazed. I was blown away. Trump's the real deal. And now he's saying that he's going to develop the vaccine, and that the military, he's mobilizing the army and military to give the shots. And he's doing this as a way to be in control of it, just as he did with gun confiscation or gun laws, gun control. He told the Democrats, what do you want? They said, we want to take it all. Now there's no more gun control because everybody opposed that. He went along with their game. And as Alex said in today's broadcast, it's a very dangerous game, and he doesn't support it. And I don't know if I support it either, but he's a very smart man with this tactic. And so he's doing it now to be in control of it. And then when he said we want to forcibly inoculate everybody through Trump's, through the system that Trump's using, everybody's going to oppose it, and he'll be in control of it. And it's a good tactic. And the same thing happens with Elon Musk and his Neuralink, which some ET craft use and can be used in a good way, but it also has a Trojan horse. The devil has told us about it as well. Not saying that the ETs got it from that way. They most likely got it from God through their evolution. But that technology has come from Satan as well. He has the same knowledge as God, basically. He was banished. He had all the answers and then got banished. So he has basically all the answers as well, and from God. But the truth is, when you go with Satan, the answers are quicker. You get more, you get wealth, you get fame, but at a big price. God, he makes you work for it, and he tests you to see who is his own, who he can trust. And he tests everybody with that. Every being. But the other ones who didn't side with evil have already passed this level. The real test is on the humans, because we chose to sin. I keep going off track, and I'm very sorry, but I just have so much to get into. I'm almost done here. So he threw in this in his ad, and it's just completely amazing. I was blown away, like I said. He's the real deal. He's trying to bring it out, but it's a very, very difficult thing to do. And again, John Searle's technology, he got through his dreams from his ancestors prior. That's a very key point. Now I remember what I was getting into. Elon Musk being in control of Neuralink gives him the power, because there's good and bad elitists. He is a good elitist, in my opinion, and a true patriot, as I've covered in another shorter video, that he was not going along with the lockdowns, but he's being in control of this Neuralink to use it as a good way, as ETs do, and also be in control of it so that the bad globalists cannot use it as a way to create this hive mind system, which they're already doing, but this direct link he's keeping for himself. Other elitists have it as well, but his company has become so big that he will be the main source of that technology, and the evil people won't really have the ability to get that out to people. He's also done the same with driverless cars, being in control of that, being the main company for that, and not letting the globalists have their own company, which does it all in a bad way. driverless cars that, are the sweep up crew after they've depopulated everybody, which is their plan. Elon Musk is in control of that, and that's a very good thing. I'm going to end it now. That's all I have for today. I will see you guys in the next video.